I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Well, the constant barrage of genius coming from the White House.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Gosh, really set the world on fire. And by that, I mean this bankrupt felon rapist is burning it all down around us on the daily.
I love it.
This week, because of the judgment of a man who stared into an eclipse, America was put on the Human Rights Watch list. America is on the list with Iran and China and, you know, every other country who takes women's rights, stops people from voting, and arrests people without charges. Here's what the head of the coalition that monitors this said about us. This is an unparalleled attack on the rule of law in the United States, not seen since the days of McCarthyism in the 20th century. So, you know, freedom! These are Republicans. They're so for freedom of speech that a list of banned words came out that are discouraged at government agencies. Were they words like knob gobbler or butt pirate? Nope. According to the guy who says he wanted to date his daughter,
perhaps I'd be dating her,
our government can't use words like clean energy, disability, feminism, you know, because Republicans are really afraid of women. Other words banned by Trump: injustice, multicultural, pregnant people, sexuality, and victims. And that's a partial list. And weirdly enough, to honor Trump's best friend, you can still say pedophile. Rest in peace, Jeffrey. I'm sorry. I mean, rest in peace, Jeffrey.
I'd fly over, drop him right on top.
So, we are now living in the beginning of a dystopian Orwellian nightmare that millions of Americans voted for.
For all I know, you're crazy as a loon. But that's not why you're here. That's not why you're here. It's not why you're here. You're here because of the system.
Good game, idiots.
Bye. That's the end of that.
The Trump administration is also investigating 60 colleges and has warned them to not protest.
He then sent everyone at Kent State a new hoodie.
He said protesting may violate the Civil Rights Act. And I thought, thank God the GOP is finally backing people's civil rights. Yeah. No. The letter from the Office for Civil Rights went to colleges under investigation for alleged violations of Title IV of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 related to anti-Semitic harassment and discrimination. Well, good. Anti-Semitism is wrong. You know, like here.
Jews will not replace us.
Yeah, these anti-Semites, he pardoned these guys after they attacked the Capitol. A young man, Mohammed Khalias, I think that's his name, a Palestinian who is exercising his First Amendment rights and protesting the killing of Palestinians. Well, this last weekend, ICE arrested him on Saturday without telling him or his pregnant U.S. citizen wife why. They said they were revoking his green card, claiming that Khalil had led activities aligned to Hamas. He's in college. He protested the war in Palestine where he was born. He's a Palestinian. But here's the weird part. They didn't charge him with a crime, which is actually against the law. So again, the full of shitness is still in the upper end of the Nazi scale in America currently. On top of all of it, sweet potato Hitler imposed tariffs. Then he rescinded them. Then he imposed them. Then he rescinded them. Then he imposed them. And then he rescinded them.
You press a button. Bing, bong.
He kicked our neighbors, Mexico and Canada, in the crotch. And our neighbors, well, they kicked back. However, the crotch massage that the Russians and Putin are getting from our dear leader.
You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting?
Isn't really stopping this march to a heartwarming nuclear holocaust. So, Trump is screwing our neighbors. He is screwing the economy. He's screwing the First Amendment and screwing the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. He is also screwing government workers and he's screwing veterans. But yet making sweet, sweet love to all the billionaires and the world's worst dictator.
They want me to use the pump.
America is currently locked in a bad relationship with an evil dementia patient. It is time to 25th Amendment this bitch before we all burn. Have a nice weekend, by the way. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. How is it like every week there's like 7 things? You know, with Biden, we had one thing. Hey, Biden mumble. That's what you should say. Biden mumble. Weird. You guys Everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. How you doing? What's going on? Hey, welcome to the nightmare that America currently is. With me to comment on that nightmare is the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
I
do not know why I keep introducing you with some sort of weird German accent.
Well, because we are headed towards
Nazism.
Nazi
it seems like
days.
it, doesn't it?
Yes.
It seems like it. So the most
or North Korea.
So let's talk about the most Nazi thing that I think happened this week. This Palestinian resident, he's a permanent resident here, married to a U.S. citizen, protested at Columbia. Was it Columbia in New York? Protested. He's born in Palestine, so he's protesting the war in Palestine. They arrested him. ICE arrested him. Took his green card. And said that basically he now has to leave. And I thought, and they're saying he's a terrorist. I have a question about this. First of all, they haven't charged him with anything. That's the other thing. They have not said you are a terrorist. They just arrested him and held him.
So
then they sent him to Louisiana, right?
Well, that's the crime then.
Is that right?
That's just
yeah. Just say you got sent to Louisiana and Reno.
That's like dogs going up to.
But so that's high on the Nazi scales. We did in the Armageddon update. That's when you just start grabbing people without the rule of law and holding them without charging them. That's Nazi.
Gestapo shit.
That's Gestapo shit. That's it. Yeah, 100%. So we have now crossed that line. The other line, we're still Elon Musk is still firing people left and right. Also, Trump did a commercial.
Unbelievable.
Did anyone see the Tesla commercial?
Yes.
In front of the White House?
You got to see that.
Oh,
holy shit.
He parked four Teslas in front of the White House, then walked down him. And then there's a clip, we'll put it right here, about him talking about, you're going to drive one? He goes, I don't drive usually. I drive. I love to drive. Driving is great. I love driving to great.
I like to drive cars, but I'm not allowed to. I bought for a very special young woman.
What is your message, President Trump? Buying a new car while there are some folks who will see this clip at home and they are struggling with their retirement accounts down at the moment. Uncertainty about work ahead.
It's 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2 seconds. So faster than a Ferrari.
That's pretty fast. I don't know if my people can handle this. They're going to be using it more. I'm not allowed to use it. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer. I mean, look, in terms of imagination, I think I have a great imagination. Who else but this guy would design this, and everybody on the road is looking at it.
And I saw a video on Instagram where they superimposed it with Biden walking over to a Jeep, throwing his jacket in, getting in, and whoop. And the show's like, I drive all the time, but I don't like driving because now that I'm president, I don't, because driving would be.
I don't think he's ever driven.
He's been driven.
Remember we got in the truck, Megan, in the dump truck a couple years ago, and he was like,
this is what driving looks
like. He gets into the Tesla and he's like, look at this, it's like computery in here.
Have we ever seen him drive?
It's very computery in here.
Wow.
It's kind of computery.
There was also like wacky arm waving men and balloons and, a lot of good deals on Tesla.
I
this
own
Sunday,
a very large paperweight now. It's really great. An old, very large paperweight. Embarrassing.
Well, the Tesla stock went up $8 or $12 today, so it had some effect.
So it's still down like $300.
It's down a lot.
It was down. Tesla stock in the last month and a half has dropped $230.
Yeah,
a share. Per share. A share. Like one share, 230. So there's companies that own millions and millions of Tesla stock because they thought, well, he's the president, buddy. Boo-hoo!
Yes.
Well, it turns out they lost $230 a share so far. I think we are. And then you got what he's doing to what the Doge crew is doing. The Doge bags are doing to veterans. They just fired 1,000 people from the Department of Education.
Cut it in half. And then McMahon,
as
wrestling lady, said today that the goal is to close it. She said, yes, that is the mandate from President Trump.
Yep.
So, yes, we're on our way.
By the way, sorry, guys, my face is red. I've got this lotion trying to get rid of something on my face. So if I look like I'm angry and red, I'm not.
Did you exfoliate it with like sandpaper here?
Exactly.
At the
well,
shop?
we have, I have a grinder. So we're closing the Department of Education. The joke I've been doing is, well, good, because we don't use it anyway. Obviously, we elected this guy. But do you understand that the Department of Education was established by Jimmy Carter, and that it was to make sure that we had a continuous, constant equality in education in this country, that we had something to where we could all, because you want to be to a degree to keep our country together, or why not just be 50 different countries? Yeah. We do need to have some sort of shared base knowledge. Agreed? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, and this is actually disproportionately affecting kids in underprivileged and underserved areas. Rural and the real way of saying that is Black or brown kids.
And also states that don't have a lot of money in education. Louisiana, Tennessee. Like I wish the people understood that the people he's screwing are the people that voted for him. They got you guy voted for the guy he's now, because California, we're going to be fine. 5th largest economy in the world. We're going to keep funding our schools. We'll keep going. And then you'll be even madder at the elites. Man, them elites, but you don't know what elite means because they closed the Department of Education, and you actually don't know what words mean anymore. So he's closing the Department of Education because the stupid population is easy to control. We've got him destroying all the jobs in the government.
1 in every 3 federal employees is a veteran. So if you look at the VA, the largest percentage of employees there are veterans, and they're firing them. But 1 in every 3rd federal employee is a veteran. So veterans are actually disproportionately being affected by this.
And another group that voted for him overwhelmingly, pretty much.
It's also so dumb, like the whole elite thing, because Donald Trump and Elon are billionaires.
Right. Elon's the richest man in the world.
So confused.
The elitist.
Yeah, but they're fighting the elites. Mm-hmm. They're going to take them out and then put billionaires in place
to represent you.
Billionaires in front of the cabinet members on Inauguration Day.
Because they're fighting the elites.
Because they're fighting the elites, who are now going to give a massive tax cut to the elites. So good job, Tigers.
And
go get 'em.
Hey, middle America. Hey, modest income person. Buy this $70,000 car, right? That's going to solve
and some Bitcoin.
Yeah,
because everybody has Bitcoin money just lying around.
Get this computery car.
Do you remember the movie? Speaking of Bitcoin, do you remember that movie that was done, Wolf of Wall Street? So the guy that movie was based on, Wolf of Wall Street, with DiCaprio and Jonah Hill. The guy that movie was based on, that ran that room, that ran that room. That guy came out and said, he goes, we did this. He goes, we had all these, we had a bunch of stocks that were legit and then a bunch of stocks that weren't. That's Bitcoin. Yeah. He goes, it's Bitcoin. He goes, this is a scam. He goes, 100% a scam. I'm telling you right now, scam. We did. I know what we're doing. We had legit and we had not legit. This is not legit. And he just, and it was like Tony Soprano's cousin was letting us know that. And now he wants to put government money. What did he wants to put government, like our tax money, into a Bitcoin reserve. Also,
a digital federal reserve.
He called it a digital Fort Knox.
Oh, sorry.
Digital Fort Knox. See, this is where the Republicans win.
Made up fake Fort Knox.
Well, here's again, I will say this. I had a friend, very good friend, that was saying he's going to buy 1 Bitcoin. And I go, okay, what is it? He goes, well, it's Bitcoin. I go, yeah, but what is that? And he goes, well, it's memory. They store it on a drive and you put it in the safe. I'm like, okay, but what is it? Mm-hmm. And he goes, it's just memory. You put it. I go, what is it? Like if you say I'm going to invest in property, I know what that is. Yeah. If you say I'm investing in classic cars, I know what that is. Yeah. When you say Bitcoin, it sounds like bullshit coin is what it sounds like to me, because he couldn't explain it. And about the 4th time I asked him what it was, he goes, I don't know. My guys just tell me to buy it. And which is literally every person who's ever been conned says, the guy told me to buy it. Willie Nelson, my accountant said to do this. So, and what people don't understand here, and I was thinking today, and I need your guys' help on this. So imagine Obama or somebody, Obama, who's close to Obama in his term, not Biden, but somebody else.
In his term?
When he was president.
Oh, when he was president.
Okay, Michelle goes up at a rally and throws up a Heil Hitler. Imagine that. Imagine. Elon Musk is still being fucking interviewed. Yeah. And he threw up 2 Heil Hitlers. Bill Burr said something funny. He goes, I find it hard to believe the guy threw it up twice. to
the back crowd.
It's a very good point.
To the cheap seats.
For those of you who are not quite sure I was a Nazi, look at me. So So there's that. Then they've crashed the economy pretty much. The stock market's down 2,000 something points. Prices are going nuts.
My retirement account has literally tanked.
Yeah, you're done. You have to work forever now.
Last month.
You have to work forever now. And then
tanked. And I say that to a family member who
loved him,
is going to be working in this administration. And she was like, what? Why? What happened?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Oh my God.
Well, so there's that. Then we've got him violating the words. They sent a list of words to all government agencies that they cannot use in anything, and the list is long. But they're all about freedom of speech. Remember the freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom of speech.
Books.
Yeah, banning books.
Judy Blume books. Like, come on.
They're banning books. They've actually now listed a bunch of words. Listen, throughout history, anytime someone wants to ban words, it hasn't gone well.
Who can't say these words? Where
you can't use them in any government paperwork or any government, federal worker.
And what were the examples? There was
one was
pregnant.
Victim,
you can't say
pregnant women. You can't say feminism.
What the fuck?
You can't say feminism.
Wow.
You can bring the list up. There's a whole list. You can bring the list up. We can talk about all the words. And they're innocuous. Again, it's not knob gobbler or butt pirate. Like I said in the American Update. It's like because I don't want to hear that.
It's like don't put that on a government website.
Who wrote this piece of paper?
Hey, big balls, quit knock it off.
Big balls, stop it. So
there's we could never go through all of these.
Well, just give us a couple of.
Holy moly!
Give me the harshest one on that list.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty dumb that you can't even say accessible. Activism, advocacy,
disabled is on there.
You can't say anti-racism or anti-racist. Of course, assigned at birth, all that. I expect that. You can't say barrier, biased toward, biases towards. He's very anti-bias. I get
he's
biologically.
So biased. He's anti-bias.
You can't say breastfeed at all.
So that's the point. I was thinking that same thing too. Is that then he can't attack it either because if you can't use those words.
Well, he will, right?
He
does
not on the
website,
website, right?
You can't say anything to do with climate or clean energy,
but
culture,
nope.
DEI, of course, I expect that. Disabilities.
You shouldn't expect any words
from him. I mean,
oh yeah.
Commercial sex worker. That's an interesting one. He wouldn't want people talking about.
Hey, keep it down. Keep it down. You can't talk about that.
Oh, that was a new agency.
Diverse discrimination of any. He uses all forms of the word.
But it's I didn't see the commercial sex worker. That's really funny. That out of the blue, out of the blue, there's just this. Don't mention hookers. What? Like, wait, don't mention victim.
Don't mention underage.
That's weird.
You cannot say female.
Yes.
Females.
Daughter.
Feminism, I expect.
They really hate women, man.
You cannot say really gender.
Wow.
You cannot say Gulf of Mexico.
It is the Gulf of Mexico for 800 years.
Speech.
It's the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of America, some rando dipshit just decided to rename it that. It is the Gulf of Mexico.
Wait, the word immigrants is on here. Why would you
Can't say immigrants.
Even the shape of the Gulf is more defined by Mexico's shape as a crescent.
Yes.
Whereas the southern border of America is a little more flat. It does curve, but
it doesn't. Isn't there more beach on that? Isn't Mexico have more coast?
Yeah, but it cuts up, so it does turn. It makes it a gulf of that. Come on, man. Come on. Just look at shapes.
Can't say mental health.
He's fighting shapes.
That's probably what he would understand.
Can't say mental health.
Can't say mental health. You cannot say. They do LGBT, all that crap, Q, but then men who have sex with men, that's something you cannot say. Most risk, can't say that.
Most risk?
Oppression, oppressive.
You can't say oppressive. Oh. So could we be more Nazi than this? Can we? Boy, they really hate women. These guys, man. I believe the Republican Party, and if you look at who's been busted and who hasn't,
prostitute.
They are tapping feet under stalls and airports across this country. The Republicans, how can you hate women this much?
Prostitute is also interesting.
Again,
you can't say
there's always
sex.
a tell. Always a tell. Don't say prostitute anymore. I call them friends.
Sex. Can't say that. Period. The word sex. And then they put all the forms of it.
After 400 years, 600 years, the puritanical streak running through America is still pretty
strong.
Can't say indigenous. Can't say tribal. Can't say trauma. Underrepresented, underserved. We've already said those. Victim.
Wow. Victim was one I thought.
Women. Cannot say the word women.
So now I'm wondering what can you? What's the website going to look like?
But also, let's be clear. Do you hear these words? These are not words that are going to harm or bother anybody. Do you hear it? Do you hear how weak, how cowardly, how afraid tiny little white men these guys are? These tiny little white men are like, you can't say feminism. Why? Because it's feminine. There was a great thing I saw today. Patriarchy means men have had their boots on women's neck forever. Feminism means women are asking for you just to take your foot off our neck. Yeah. So these white men, these pathetic, cowardly, tiny, weak ass bitch white men are like, no, that's oppressing me now. I can't step on her neck anymore.
You need to let me step on your neck.
I don't get it. I mean, I get it because I've known pathetic men like this.
He did say about that Palestinian activist that we started talking about, who is a legal permanent resident.
Legal permanent resident, and his wife is a citizen.
He has a green card.
She's pregnant.
Can't say that. Trump said,
no, on the podcast we can say it.
Trump said that this represents the first arrest of many. So there's another.
I forgot the word illegal. The first illegal arrest of men.
Signal.
This is this is a related thing that is also super petty and just kind of just a Confederate racist thing and a fuck you from Hegseth. He's reverting the some of the Fort, like Fort Bragg and whatever. And then assigning it to some other person. Not saying
another soldier.
Another soldier.
Yeah.
Looking for some fucking cheap petty ass loophole.
It's the Stonewall Jackson base. No. There was a guy.
Ralph
Stonewall Jackson. Okay, but Ralph didn't do anything. Yeah, he was a cook. He was the best cook ever.
He got a cut. He bled for a little bit.
Yeah.
Federal judge. This is on Fox News. Rips the DOJ lawyers and demands a written retraction from Hegseth over transgender military policy post.
So does that mean
it was a retweet? Well, Fox calls it a tweet because we all still call it Twitter. He tweeted that or retweeted.
That's how dumb Elon Musk is. You had this perfect name of something.
Yeah.
What do you call an X?
X. Well, it's like.
By the way, what do you do? A bunch of people.
It's like how he names his kids. He retweeted a thing about disqualifying transgender troops from service without an exemption. The judge is a Biden appointee, but has demanded a written retraction on X.
Well, at least the Supreme Court in some way is...
Well,
everything have to get to the Supreme Court?
Yes.
Is that what?
And then will he follow it?
But also we have to talk about, this happened, we didn't talk about this last week, Amy Coney Barrett, right? Who I called Annie Krusty Butler for a long time, but then I have to be honest with her. Of all the judges he put on, she's the one that seems to take her job seriously.
It's a cleaner butt plug.
Don't you agree?
Rinsed off.
I never agreed with calling her a butt plug, and I said it every time you said it.
It's just me. You did.
She has voted against him.
Twice.
Even in I thought it was more. I thought she had 2 election rulings. I said voted, but you know what I meant. Ruled against him in the election crowd.
Right.
And several denial to even hear the case.
So here's what I want to point out to people about that. So he puts Amy Coney Barrett on the Supreme Court, right? She votes with him on a couple of things. They get that thing passed on presidential immunity. Then they get to this crazy thing. What was this last thing she voted no on? Was it?
Oh, the USAID.
The USAID thing, where basically
federal funds. Which
frozen. Is such a win-win for our country. It's a little bit of money to help feed countries that need help, assistance, fresh water, and ever. And then we actually can send a CIA guy in once in a while and go, hey, how's everything going over here? And then so we can work on their government, so we don't have to fight them and Iran and China. We actually have to go, no, we got these guys on our side because we've been feeding their kids for 10 years.
Soft power.
Okay, soft power, right. So she comes out, she votes, so he can't stop that. and his base start calling her a rhino and jumped him. I want to point
her
out.
sister just had a bomb threat.
Oh my God. So I want to point out, people, when anybody backs this guy up until he says, shoot that guy, and you say, I'm not going to shoot that guy, then they throw you under the bus. But I look at all these Republicans, these weak ass, just cowardly Republicans going along with anything, selling their souls. And I don't know what they think they're going to get, because he will bury you the second he doesn't need you anymore. He always has and always will.
He's doing it now with the economy and everything that he promised on the campaign trail that all of his base voted for. And he just said, fuck off.
Oh, we're going to have...
fuck you.
It's going to be uncomfortable for a while. Now that's the new thing. And I told him uncomfortable means poor people are going to starve.
Yes.
Yeah.
It won't be so bad for him.
For them.
For Elon Musk, but for people that budget, like my niece who's on disability,
who needs
budgets
the VA
to the dollar at the beginning of every month.
with a baby.
With a baby and no support. She's got it coming at her from both ways, right? Like prices are going up. But also she relies on the VA. So what's coming with that? My dad's Social Security and the VA.
They're cutting that too.
Because
it's a Ponzi scheme. Because the thing that we've all paid in since our first paycheck at McDonald's, that we've paid into Social Security for some reason now is a Ponzi scheme.
It's not even an entitlement. Like, we shouldn't even call it that. It's like a savings account.
You owe me, bitch.
Yeah.
I paid me. Yeah. Weigh my money at is what it should be called. Weigh my money.
Speaking of, I don't know, this episode brought to you by Fitbod.
Yay! Oh man, can I talk about yesterday's workout? So yesterday's workout, they made me do. I did it here because I have my pull-up bar here, and I was doing. At the end of it, they give me leg raises where I have to, and I always go extra. I don't have to go here, but I always go touch the roof and I have to be honest with you. Between the leg raises and what was the other thing they gave me? We do your legs like whatever that is. Not leg raises hanging, and then I had to do
Buster
flutter
train.
kicks.
Is that what that is?
Flutter kicks.
So Fitbod is an app, a fitness app.
And
if you don't know this.
And it killed me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fitness app, and it's incredible because it gives you variety in your workout.
And tracks you.
And don't doom scroll social media with all these. Anybody can put anything on Instagram, and they do. And it's lies.
Do these 6 exercises, and you're going to get.
And then you get
drop 22 pounds in one
stuck
day.
in the algorithm, and you don't know you're in an algorithm, and you're doing dumb shit because somebody told you to do it, and they don't believe it either. They just posted it because it was wrong, which made you watch it, so they made money. Go to Fitbod, please, because they use personal trainers that fine-tune all of the workouts. There are videos. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't have to have equipment, but you start off by putting in what you have, what equipment you have. Could be none, could be your body.
But also, let's say you travel like I do. You can put in, you don't just put one thing in. It gives you can do as many profiles as you want. Like I have a studio profile with my equipment here. I have a home profile. I have a profile for body weight, and I have a profile for like I'm on the road to a full gym. And you can, and so what I do is when I get to that equipment, instead of having to re-put in all the equipment, I just hit that profile, bam, fills it up.
Again, you basically have a personal trainer in your pocket.
Yep.
And it adapts, and that's why he gets so mad at it. Because it knows what he can do because he's been doing it 2 years.
Keeps upping me.
So it keeps upping it. So it's there to challenge you. And so I really love this because especially having a fitness background and knowing how hard it is when you're starting out and you are scared to go or have people watch you, you don't have to. You can do this at home and it will teach you the exercises. So, and it's personalized every day to you.
And the body weight workouts. So you think, well, body weight, what's that going to do? The body weight workouts they give you, I did it. We were on the road. We were in Vegas. We went and saw the Eagles, and I did a leg body weight workout. And honestly, for 2 days, couldn't walk. Yeah. It's like I'm like, okay.
Sat down and actually squeaked. So level up your workout today. Join Fitbod to get your personalized workout plan. You'll get 25% off of the subscription, which is already super cheap, or you can try the app for free. See what you think for 7 days at fitbod.me/Titus. That's fitbod.me/Titus.
Sat down and squeaked.
He did. He went,
Butt cheeks. True.
I was going to say Pete Hegseth also, here's a direct quote in front of
the Nazi guy with the Nazi tattoos on his chest.
Correct.
Got it.
But he always has a little American flag kerchief.
Right.
And his "We the People" tattoos, shirt's always rolled up so you can see how douchey he is. He said that the Pentagon does, quote, not do climate change crap.
That's the quote?
That is
Crap.
That is a double down on stupid.
Why don't we tell the people in Florida and North Carolina and South Carolina about the climate change crap? Why don't we tell people that we had a wildfire in January in California about we don't do climate change crap?
He
when
also
did we get the
ordered
dumbest fuckers ever?
when Donald Trump started picking
God
them.
damn.
Well, 2016.
2016.
Yeah, but at least those guys, some of those guys were like, here's how smart those guys were. Rex Tillerson. They were like, I'm out.
Yeah,
This
early
guy-
on, they were like, this
guy's a fucking moron. That's Rex Tillerson said about Donald Trump.
He has ordered the Pentagon to stop offensive cyber operations against Russia.
Ordered who?
Hegseth has ordered the Pentagon to stop cyber operations, stop offensive, we're just holding it off. Cyber ops.
Yes.
Against Russia.
Against Russia.
So
Wow.
Russia,
Wait.
they hacked the pipeline and
shut down the gas at one time.
Yeah, so the banks, we've seen a lot
there was a
of
rumor,
this.
Electrical grid.
They're attacking one of our allies.
So
he's like, guys, listen, it's just Russia. They're the worst dictator assholes possible, and they helped with the election and everything. We need to leave them alone.
Yeah.
So
you mean the guys that are trying to shut down our country?
Don't watch for it. Don't protect against it. Don't investigate it. It's closed now.
Holy shit!
Do you see that they're shutting down our country?
Handing it over to Russia.
Right. Well, Trump, again, from the 80s, Trump started renting to Russians in the 80s. In 86, he was invited to Russia. In 87, he went to Russia. 87, 95, 96, his son said, yeah, we don't need banks. We have all this Russian money. They were renting and basically using his apartments. They were buying his apartment, his condos and stuff in New York and paying cash, selling them 3 years later, which launders the money. He did that for years. He basically he did the Miss Universe pageant there. He was going to put a Trump Tower in Moscow, give Putin a $50 million penthouse.
Let me interject on this specific date.
Yeah.
When he was invited to Russia in 1987, the following year, he ran for president, 1988. And then he took out an ad that same year attacking NATO. And here he is taking
Didn't he
down.
run Democrat back then?
Yes.
Yeah.
What an idiot. All he had to do was flip to Republican, and then these are the idiots I needed.
Wait, so does Putin want Canada and Mexico and Greenland and the Panama Canal?
The shipping routes, yes, because if Trump is friendly to Putin, if Trump's so friendly to Putin that if he gets Greenland, it opens up. So Russia's been sanctioned on using certain shipping lanes because of them being fucking assholes. So Greenland would open that up, and Canada too. And I got to be honest,
Greenland would actually be very beneficial to Russia. Yeah.
Yes, this Canada thing scares the shit out of me because he keeps saying it, and he's like a 51st state governor, Canada. We love you.
He called state parks.
It's just a line. Someone just drew a line on a map. It looks like they took a ruler and drew a line. Fuck. Do you know how maps
like Mexico, like the border of Mexico and United States?
Mexico would like a word about some of the states we have.
Can we talk to the ruler guy, please?
Yeah.
Porque.
Hegseth also, because of his DEI paranoia, he has expunged experienced and dedicated military leaders they're all non-white. They have taken down pictures and displays in the Pentagon that were historical, gone, destroyed. Of course, Milley came down. Every Joint Chiefs of Staff was on the wall, but his has been ripped down. He also...
CQ Brown.
Huh?
CQ Brown is down, the black guy just fired.
Yep, the black guy, of course. He...
Replaced with like Kanye?
No,
Is it? Oh, no.
Kanye's black.
Getting
Doesn't
rid
matter,
of
they wear that.
80,000 employees from the VA, that's an awful lot of veterans. But more importantly, and most importantly, they are getting rid of the word gay. And
This
that's
is-
a problem.
Oh, like
because
Enola
of
Gay.
The Enola
Oh,
Gay.
yeah, no.
Yes.
Guys,
It doesn't
guys,
mean gay.
let me please explain the level of fucking stupid.
God damn.
So the Enola Gay, if you guys know, was the plane that dropped Fat Man and a Little Boy on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Fuck. So the guy's mom's name was Enola Gay. And so the guy put his mom's name on the plane, named the plane after his mom. And because the word gay is on the plane,
That was their last name.
because the word gay is on the plane, Hegseth is like, do you know how homophobic?
It's done.
Do you know
It's
how
gone.
many feet you have to tap under a airport restroom stall
He's
to be
homophobic
Hegseth?
for sure.
Seriously,
They
just to
have
be
flagged
afraid of the
all
word? That's not
photos.
even the word meaning the word?
They have all
It's the
now
name.
flagged
Can't
all
believe this plane that dropped the nuke is going to make me gay. Got to get rid of that name.
photos and articles that feature the Enola Gay and deleted it from all military websites and any posts. He's also, obviously, you've seen he's purging military leaders, getting rid of high rank, like generals, admirals that are non-white. But he's also canceled military observance of MLK Day, Pride Month, Holocaust Day, and any other occasion that would acknowledge
Let's have a little talk.
non-white Christian.
Why are we on a fucking podcast nailing this down? Talking about that this man is going through this Nazi guy with literally has Nazi tattoos on his chest, who is now in charge of all our military branches, is going through getting rid of anybody in a country full of immigrants in one of the most diverse countries in the world. How come our media, including MSNBC, isn't just up everybody's ass on this? Because they're owned by corporations.
I have not heard anyone
None of this.
Because they're not.
Even the list of words.
I will tell you, watch Rachel Maddow because she and her team are serious investigative journalists,
Yes.
and that's where we do hear a lot of it from, and then we go look it up and read about it.
However, we were talking about this yesterday. This is kind of scary. Is that Fox News appears to be turning against Trump? At least some of them.
They are
in
at
some
least
way
covering some things.
They're pushing back on
yeah.
some things, like the Duceys. The Duceys came out and attacked him on help me out.
Tariffs.
It was like there's a
Tariffs
few things
and the economy. They went after tariffs and the stock market. Now, I don't know who this chippy is who's currently running the press room, but I have never seen. I thought Kellyanne Conway was a bit of a twat, but this girl, Jesus, someone goes, well, tariffs. Basically, calls her on it. Go, tariffs are the consumer pays the tariff. No, tariffs are a tax on the countries. They are a bonus. What did they say? They're a tax cut for the consumer. And I just go, like, this is the most, you're literally saying the exact opposite of what a tariff is. For those of you who don't know, and anybody who has the balls, and I know you guys do listen to us. If you're listening to us, you're smart enough, because if you're listening to us and you are a Trumper, you've really made a mistake. But tariffs, okay, this cup, this comes from China. This cup costs $5. Okay,
it comes from Chinette.
China, it's right. When it comes to China, a smaller version of China, it's an island off of China. China, it comes from China. So this comes $5. Well, when it gets to America, it goes through customs. I used to clear stuff through customs. That's what I did. So they mark it down, count how many you did, and then they go, well, you brought in 100 of these cups at $5 a piece. So instead of just being that $5 that goes on to the guy who bought the cups to sell it, they go, we need to put a 20% tariff on that. So now this cup, it costs $6. Okay, because this guy who bought these cups pays $5 to the manufacturer, then he's got to pay another $1 to the government. Mm-hmm. So this $5 cup now becomes $6. Well, that fucking guy who's selling it, here's how retail works. This cup costs $5. Now it's $6. They don't sell it for $7. They sell it for $12 now. Mm-hmm. So that $1 tariff turned into $2 at retail. Now put that on a TV or a car or whatever. They said the truck I just bought after, I thank God I bought it when I did, $24,000. It went up $24,000. Yeah. So tariffs are paid by you. That's who pays it. You.
I feel like he's just going to tell you this every week until
Because people
he
are dumb.
dies because nobody gets it.
And
How is that possible?
We've been saying it, and people just...
Babe, they busted him on TV, and he went like this. He goes, they said, tariffs are paid by the consumer, and Trump goes, no, I don't think so. He goes,
That's not what I think.
And it's the media's job to check him, and they everybody in the press room knows what the fuck how a tariff works.
But that's what
they all should stand up and scream back at her.
But they don't. And they did at Biden. How often did we see videos of them yelling at him and yelling over each other?
Because they'll get thrown out and they have no access. So but this is what I'm asking. When did our media become such pussies? Walter Cronkite, Dan Rather. I mean, you look back at some of the, Edward R. Murrow. You had guys that fucking called it out. What happened?
Well, you're right. They will get thrown out, and they have. He has banned
Jim Acosta.
He has banned specific networks and reporters, and for the first time in history, the press pool is it in the Pentagon? It is, right? Because this was one of Hegseth's early things.
The AP can't be or something like that?
They kicked out AP.
Reuters?
It was all these, and they brought in Newsmax.
We got a thing.
Throw a shoe, somebody.
Do you know what I got an email? I got an email that said we have a gold thing.
Saw that.
We have a gold thing if we want a press access.
They brought in podcasts. They brought in Breitbart. Yeah.
Someone made a big mistake.
I'll go. Send me to DC as the roving reporter.
That would be great. Oh, he'd be really nice to you.
Until I open my mouth.
You're a nasty woman. That's a nasty question.
Yes, exactly.
She's very beautiful, but she's horrible.
Speaking of being nasty, this episode's brought to you by
Perhaps
Mando.
I would date her.
Mando. I have it on right now, actually.
I love these products. I use Lumi, and that's who Mando was created by. You might have seen the commercials. They make him insane. They also make my uncle insane.
They've toned him down. They fixed it.
They stopped that foot commercial, and now everybody's happier. But this was designed by a doctor, I believe that's who she is in the commercial, who saw how normal body odor was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. And so she created this product I like the whole body deodorant. They have several different iterations that you can use.
Every flap, fold, or crevice.
Pits, balls, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, and feet, baby. Butt cracks.
Yeah, wipe. Just wipe better.
Balls. So it's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. But still shower every day. Can just still recommend that. They have solid deodorant stick. It's powered by mandelic acid. They have spray deodorant if you can't reach places.
That's why it's Mando. Mandelic acid. Okay.
Aluminum free.
Thank God.
Baking soda free, paraben free, all products are, which I love if I'm going to put it on my lymph nodes, right?
Yeah. How do I put more aluminum metal into my body?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Plus, they have great scents. And
they do. It's
for guys, you can go unscented, but they've got some really good, I don't remember which one you got. But for women, if you go to Lumi, they have killer, there's I think it's mint cucumber or something, and I'll put it on and be like,
she likes it because it's a mojito. She basically she gets to wear a mojito.
Exactly. Here's your favorite thing. 12 hours after a shower, the average man's grundle odor level was a 5 out of 10. With Mando, the average grundle odor level is a 0.
I think I found my least favorite word.
I just wanted to say it twice.
It is my least favorite.
I swear, is it the Beowulf character?
Hers is moist, and mine is grundle. Grundle. Ugh. Grundle is horrible.
To have a moist grundle is just the worst. That's double power.
That was your one for the year. You can't ever say it again. You get one, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
That's I hope you enjoyed it.
I think add that to the website list of words.
I'm on 3, and
What's
it's shaky.
What's your worst word?
Worst word? I'm good. Any word.
He'll
any
do
word.
Anywhere, man. He's up for it.
I am up for
it.
He
is not a Nazi. Does he?
I'm going to get back to that in a second. Let me just say this. Smelly teenager. He
works.
Uses Mando.
Yeah. He smells like what I assume Trump smells like. Not anymore, though. He smells like, and you brought up the smell. It's like a nice, I have neighbors that they bathe in disgusting cologne that I could it's just like, I could taste it. It's disgusting. But the smell, Wyatt now smells like
like he's running through a field.
A field with unicorns and rainbows
It was
and
funny because
flowers.
you were complaining about his stink.
Yeah.
And we were laughing
12,
because he
13.
did a whole bit about it called "What's That Smell?"
Yep.
And so then they offered to advertise, and we were like, "We know who we're going to test it on."
We have a test subject.
Patient zero.
What he did for Wyatt was he got him the starter pack, and it's perfect if you haven't tried it before. It comes with the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash or the deodorant wipes, and you get free shipping on all of that. As a special oftener. I do that every week. It's the word offer next to listener. As a special offer for listeners, new customers can also get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code Titus. That would equate to over 40% off if you use code Titus at shopmando.com. That's ShopMando.com. At the end, support us and tell them that we sent you because they'll ask you. Smell fresh or stay dry or boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
Guys, I want to talk about advertising. I had one comment. It's just one comment. I want to bring it up. We'd done something I was reading and they went off. They were like, Titus just whores everything like Rogan and everybody else, him and his child bride. And I was like, there you go. Yeah, that's what they called
That's
you.
a nice.
Yeah, that was nice. I thought it was.
You're 27, right?
Thank you.
I said, "Are you insulting me on that?" Yeah, like I actually wrote, "I win." So
your child.
Yeah, that's what he said. And I thought, if they knew the hell that we go through just to accept ads, that the stuff that we literally do not take stuff we don't use. Yeah. We literally do not. Like so like, what about this? And she'll
I'll
go down.
take things.
She'll go. I just said no. And she'll give me some crazy thing. And I'm like, why would we even do that?
Yeah.
And so just so you guys know, we advertise, but we don't charge for the podcast. There's no Patreon. You don't have to subscribe. We just do it because this is how we get us here.
Most comics do have people subscribe or do a Patreon. We've been doing it now 14 years, almost 15.
If you'd rather pay, let us know.
Yeah.
If you'd rather pay, for the year, 52 episodes you want to pay for the year, 50 episodes you want to pay for the year.
1 million.
Now, if everybody subscribe for $10, we'll get rid of all the ads.
Let's hold on.
356,000 times $10.
No, because you'll agree to it, and then 27 people will subscribe, and we'll have $270.
What form of entertainment or information doesn't have some kind of funding?
I know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You have to make them.
Ghetto tiger. How do you feel about the word seeping?
Seeping?
Because remember the body chopper that lived around the corner from us, like literally right.
The reason they discovered it because the bags were
seeping.
See,
they ripped it open and it was her torso and it was seeping.
Torso bothers me.
Torso. Well, because you're
seeping torso is pretty bad.
You're conflating what it means with the word. So there's words that have a gross sound. I would say your word. Yeah, I didn't say it.
Like onomatopoeia.
Yeah,
grundle's a bad word.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
It sounds like
it has a grunting. It has a. So then there's other words that mean gross things.
Okay.
I would say
you're
seeping.
Not bothered by that either.
No,
he's not bothered by a whole lot. He works with us.
I would argue he's very bothered by a lot of things. He is his own worst enemy.
That is true.
Overthinker number 2 at this table.
Yeah. Okay.
Can
that's
confirm
true.
number 1.
Allergies.
Allergies.
Fuck you, Paul. Fuck you, Paul.
Yeah, there. He took a stand.
I want to talk about the Canada thing. I don't understand. Okay, this is where I want to start talking about the 25th Amendment. We need to get this man out of office.
Oh, yeah.
He is actually, in the last month and a half, starting a war with Canada. He's starting a war with Canada and Mexico. And he wants to attack another country, Greenland, and he wants to go take the Panama. So basically what he's doing is he's taking everything we've ever said we would do, every deal America's ever made, and fucked it again.
Including deals he made when he was...
Yeah, who's made this deal? It's horrible. This is a horrible deal. We are getting screwed by these countries. You mean on the thing that you signed and you held up the thing with the squiggly? You signed it. It's your thing. And then we have... Panama, but do you remember so Obama gets the Iran deal done where basically we could monitor Iran having nukes. Trump says this 2 weeks ago. Trump wants to make a deal with Iran so we can monitor their nukes. And I just wanted to punch the dash of my car so hard. We had that. You fucking killed it. You idiot. You moron. So now the rest of the world, and smartly, if you look around, the rest of the world is getting their shit together. I was talking to Texas Paul, and we were talking about what they're doing, I guess. So Poland is now going to conscript 250,000 people over the next 2 years to the
Poland
military.
Poland is actually what they reinstated the draft or whatever.
Yep.
Any male 18 and over. Yeah. It's
military training.
Latvia, same. And
you know why? Because Poland still remembers.
History, yeah. They still teach it. They still teach it in Poland.
And they were alive recently enough to have lived it.
Yeah, there's a grandpa going, what are we doing? So you've got this moron who's treating this, he's treating this like a business, and it's not. And he ruined businesses. I mean, listen, if the guy was a great businessman, he hadn't bankrupt casinos, again, where people walk in, give you money, and they leave, and he fucked that up 4 times.
Every one of his business, everything he's touched
fails. So, or loses money. So my question is why don't we 25th Amendment his ass? Like, he's starting a war with 2 other countries on our borders, and Greenland, who's got 60,000 people. He keeps calling honestly, you want to keep calling Canada the 51st state? I get why they're pissed.
Yeah,
I would be too. I would I may fight for Canada.
Trudeau, the governor,
and
it's really sick.
But on the flip
sick,
side,
that's the word, sick. If that's what I mean, that's why we need to get rid of him. He's mentally ill.
It's just insanity happening right now, and we don't even cover it all because you can't. Yeah. But
I tried.
Did you see? Yeah, how could you?
Load my chair again, motherfuckers. You assholes.
I'm thinking it's the chair and gravity.
Nope, I know it. I know. No, I can tell by this, by the smile. So, guys, here's what they do. So I come in, and I'm like, "How's everybody doing?" And they're like, "She's like a foot taller than I am," and I'm like, "What is happening?"
He started doing it, and then I just thought it was hilarious. You would do it when we were shooting sketches during COVID.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah.
You would make his podium higher. So he was, do you remember that?
Bob and Annie were funny, though. It was funny when Bob was low. That was funny.
Bob was always
I'm fine with comedy, but when it just...
the court, they have taken it to the court now after an email tells USAID workers to destroy classified documents.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So here's what I don't get. So everything about this, everything from day one has been so corrupt. Mm-hmm. Every fucking thing. There is a Nazi, a guy with literal white supremacist tattoos all over his body is running our military. We've got Trump doing commercials for Elon Musk. There was 4 Teslas parked in front of the White House. He was like, "Look at this car. This is really great. Well, if you come on right now, we're going to get financing. Tilt wheel, power windows."
It's power windows, power steering. Tail wheel. That was a commercial in Louisiana. If you wonder if they are
computery.
By the way,
that's how he was trying to bring people down. We got power windows, tail wheel.
Come look at the magic. You hit a button, that window go down. You don't have to do nothing.
And if you get the gold card, you get a free Tesla.
And I'm a child bride. I'm not old enough to be alive for a commercial that advertises tilt wheel.
But
yes, he's using his office to sell.
It's the Hatch Act. He's violating the law every day. And the Republicans, nobody's fucking stopping him. Yeah. You can't just send in a rando to fire 80,000 or 8,000 or 1,000 from the Department of Education or 80,000 veterans. You can't. It's illegal. You just can't do it. There's laws.
Have had his USDA secretary is now trying to defend the $1 billion cuts to funding for food banks and schools. They're trying to get rid of SNAP. That feeds children, guys.
I'll say it again. The billionaires have decided that people who have nothing have too much.
Food banks.
People with nothing have too much. That's what the billionaires have decided.
They want to privatize. They want to break everything so that it can be privatized, so that their corporation buddies can come in and control them all and make billions. and then it's on the stock market.
But
And
also, then it's not in the federal budget. So he thinks the
Tax
same
cuts.
amount of
Yeah.
money to do bigger tax cuts for himself and his billionaire buddies. But eventually, people like Gavin are going to say, then we're not sending you this money because you're not doing these jobs anymore.
Gavin's got to be called out, though, for the shit he did this last week.
What did he do? He
went
started
out-
a podcast?
He went on. Well, Charlie Kirk was on his podcast, and he agreed that trans athletes was a problem. Then he's having Bannon on. Bannon's on next.
Wait, so he didn't...
And he's just like, it's like no, he didn't go.
He had him on.
He didn't go... Trans
So he
athletes is
had
not a
He
real
had
problem.
a chummy chat with Steve Bannon.
Right. So what I'm really tired of in this country is politicians continuing to be politicians. This is not a time to kiss ass. This is not a time to reach across the aisle. This is a time to fight because we have fucking Nazis among us. There are Nazis among us. How do I know that? Because they were Heil fucking Hitlering. That's how I know that. I also know that they have Nazi tattoos on their chest and they're in the government. I also know because they're getting rid of black people and brown people. They are Nazis. Call them what they are. They are Nazis. And you pussies in the Democratic Party start talking loud instead of going, Hakeem Jeffries, again, the human units on the Republican side are really treating the human units on the Democratic side with what
I love,
the fuck is
John
that?
Oliver it just came back to him and he's staring at the camera and then he goes, what the fuck is wrong with him?
Seriously.
I don't.
We're getting rid of food banks. I would just say, you may not like the Salvation Army, but I know that they have like one of the highest percentages. It's like 97 or 8%.
Yeah, it's less. It's 2.something% in costs
I
to run the Salvation Army.
in their food bank here for a long time, and they are feeding families and homeless people. I was responsible for handing those bags over to people every week, the families that would come in, and it would be like cooking staples for people based on how many kids they had.
Who knew Mother Teresa was this hot?
So go and
Child
donate.
bride Teresa.
If you have any money left after you buy eggs, donate food or money to, it doesn't have to be Salvation Army, but to these food banks in your cities, because during this uncomfortable period, people are going to starve.
Do you remember when COVID happened? Do you remember the lines of cars where people are living? So the minimum wage hasn't gone up in 20 something years, 27 years, yet everything else has gone up. So it's still $7.25. So the reality of that is that we used to be able to have a middle class that actually could pay for a house, they could pay for food, they had 2 cars, and they have put their kids through college. That can't happen. People are now having 2 and 3 jobs just to fucking make it through the end of the month. And these motherfuckers are coming in and cutting back the billionaires. Again, the billionaires are coming in and taking shit away from people who already have nothing. I don't understand how you voted for that. How did you vote for it? And now here's how crazy it is. So we had those coal rolling guys in the diesel Chevy Silverados, coal rolling on Teslas, right? Trump is screaming, drill, baby, drill. We need more oil. And windmills cause cancer. Yesterday, he did an ad for Tesla on the White House lawn. How the fuck does any of that? How does it go? Any of it go together?
He's totally transactional in the moment. Whatever suits him in the moment. That's it.
It's the same as we were just talking about the elites, and we've been saying this for years, and none of it goes together at all. They don't. His supporters, and they're non-consistent or
100%.
inconsistent.
English major.
They, the whole first term, all he talked about and all they talked about was the stock market. He tweeted about it every day, and we would come on here and be angry about it because most people, that's not a good measure of how well they're doing. Most people are not in the stock market. And now that he's tanking it, they're like, what?
It shot 2,100 points in the last week.
That's a lot.
2,100 points. It's down.
A lot.
They also don't.
He's fucking up Costco. Like, how do you fuck up Costco?
That's the power I think that's going to be able to stop. That's one more backstop is the market. If the market tanks, he will make some changes.
Yeah. Well,
the other thing that,
but you're doing, here's the thing, you're doing what everybody does on media. Here's what we can't do. Here's what we can't do. You just normalize them. Well, if the market goes down, he'll change his. No, he doesn't. He's got a small dick and he doesn't believe that he does anything wrong ever. This man is, you remember, he was shot by Roy Cohn. Roy Cohn, you watch that movie, told him, you never apologize, you deny everything, and you never say sorry.
But ever. This is what I'm saying. It's not him. I'm talking about his billionaire friends.
I mean, the people that run shit
are going to influence him. They're going to come and shut him down.
But one of his billionaire friends is so jacked up on ketamine, he's hallucinating while he's walking into the Department of Education. We've got a guy that believes that he can just shred government and thinks he's going to come up with $2 trillion. They said that if you fired everybody, 100%, it comes out to about $800 billion. If you fired everybody in government, I mean everybody from Josh to everybody, $800 billion. It still won't cover his tax cuts. So I don't understand what they're doing. Someone pointed out what I've been saying since day one. If he'd have just walked in and golfed 5 days a week,
which he is,
he's still doing that and fucking it up. It would have been fine. And what makes me crazy, and so do you remember how upset everybody got at Biden? Oh man, he can barely talk. Oh my God, he's this, he's that.
That's all they had.
And yet the economy, we had the best. Look at it, economists. Look at even people that don't like him. The Atlantic, everybody. We had the best economy in the world. And I went and looked at the inflation numbers today before I came in, and it went from 3.8, and every month Biden, you see it drop until it finally gets to 2.8. And he left.
Yep.
In January, when Trump took over, it went to 3.
He fell on a bike.
Leading the world.
Yeah, but he fell on it, which was kind of cute.
Because his feet were good.
Shing, shing.
Yeah, but he can ride a bike. Guess who can't ride a bike?
Speaking of riding a bike, this episode brought to you by Public Rec.
She's really stopped giving her shit.
Public Rec makes awesome clothing.
So
can confirm, but their pants are especially awesome.
And I've been beating on that T-shirt, that black T-shirt I have, my Public Rec T-shirt.
It looks the same.
Exactly the same. It has not. My other T-shirts have faded. The black ones. This one exactly the same.
That is one thing I hate about black shirts. I love black. Obviously, it's all I own, but it fades, and when it fades, I have even purchased RIT dye and re-dyed my jeans and stuff.
How does it last? Like a couple?
It doesn't a long time, and then you smell funny. But this
is your Mando.
No.
Hey, you smell funny.
Like stuff that comes from China when you open it, how it smells. It's that really toxic chemical smell. That's what you walk around smelling like. And so that's why I love this company, because it looks exactly the same.
Yep.
It hasn't lost shape. Awesome. It hasn't faded. The pants look brand new. You would think that you just bought them. And they look nice, but you could wear them golfing. He flies in his.
So here's how much I like my Public clothes. You ever you go get your laundry done and it's all in your drawers, all folded up nice, and you're going through a shirt and I come across my black Public Rec T-shirt and I'm like, oh. And your clothes, your favorite clothes.
My favorite one.
There you go. Exactly.
The other super sweet part about their pants, like I said, he will travel in his because you look dressed up, but you feel like you're in snuggle pants. Yeah. The great thing is that you can choose your exact width and length, which is really important.
And 34 is such a hard
giants like us. So I spent my whole life wearing short pants because nobody gave a shit.
And you still made them look good.
No, I would not say that happened. Especially with my failed home perm that worked on one side and not the other.
I think I've seen that picture. It's really good.
I would probably show it to you. I'm very proud of it.
It's kind of Bob Rossi.
That little
on
thing,
one side.
Yeah, that little pot scrubber hat thing she had in the front. That
this side, bubble. Straight. No, actually, it was my right side. Straight. Still doesn't hold curl as well. And this side, Jewish poodle. Yeah. But I had bangs, and my hair is so thick and heavy and coarse. But this side of Bang stayed straight.
Very flock of
and
seagulls.
this side was like a tennis
unicorn?
ball.
Oh, like
of-
it was like
like one of those scrubs in the shower
used for the
thing?
shower. Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Loofah.
It's pretty
So
awesome.
public rec, thank you, because you can
Great
go
stuff.
get whatever width and length you need, 32, 34,
Mhm. 34,
34,
thank God.
36, whatever. And they come in awesome colors. The material is awesome. I think that's why they stay looking new so long.
And also where they're so comfortable on a plane. Like I want to plane with them. They're so and then I get up and they look exactly like
Yeah, but you
suit
look like
pants.
you're in slacks.
Yeah, they look
Yeah.
like suit pants. Yeah.
And they have a bunch of other awesome t-shirts, hoodies, stuff like that. Comfortable enough for the couch, sharp enough for the city. For a limited time, you guys can go get 20% off at Public Rec by using code Titus. Just go to publicrec.com, use code Titus, and then you're all set. At the end, same deal. They'll say, how did you hear about us? Tell them Titus Podcast sent you. It helps us out. Upgrade to Public Rec and feel the difference.
Can we talk about what we got to experience this weekend?
Yes.
We so for Christmas, Ray is I'm probably the biggest Eagles fan I've ever known. Possibly.
Hence the shirt.
Is that possibly?
Got you.
Not me, her.
No, but
No, but
the
the
shirt.
I got the merch.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we go. I got her tickets for Christmas to go see the Eagles at the Sphere. Now I've been hearing about the Sphere, and I'm an anti-hype person. If someone overhypes something to me, I get pissed. I'm like, "There's no way it could be that good. You're an idiot. Shut up." That's how I feel. I'm never going. It's never happening. But it was the Eagles at the Sphere, and I'd heard from everybody said when U2 was there that it was phenomenal. So I went out of my way. I found I honestly found what I thought was the best tickets in the house. That was confirmed by the person. That led us. We had a VIP person that sat us down.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
You know, Vegas is all about VIP, and he had purchased the VIP anyway, but then they recognized
for you, for
him and
Christmas.
they were like, Christmas Titus coming up, and they're hoping.
Kasha
Which is-
Patel
I could
didn't
hear-
swoop in on you.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's coming.
Couldn't find you.
That's coming. But he said, where are the best seats in the house? And she actually walked us through the Sphere and down to our seats, and she goes, right here.
You have them.
Oh.
This is when I was able to come one time and bring my daughter.
Yeah.
She said, these are the seats. These exact seats are the ones I chose. And so there's a pit and the band, and then
Band's
there's
out
a
in front of
level
you.
up, and we're on the front row
At the
of
rail.
the eye level
Oh,
up with
awesome.
the band.
She's looking right at Don Henley in the eyes.
Stud muffin.
85, still looking good.
It looks good,
He
man.
gives you hope. Don
Yeah.
Henley gives you hope.
Sounds exactly the same.
Joe
Doesn't
Walsh
have
gives
that
you
old
anti-hope.
No,
Joe Walsh scares the shit out of me.
and yet he was great.
And I can't post any videos about him because I was drinking, and in the background you can hear me going, "Okay, creepy. Okay,
But
freaking
he was
me
great,
out."
and he was the funniest. He's
He
by
was funny.
far the funniest.
Could you
of all of
imagine
them.
Joe Walsh and RFK talking to each other?
Joe Walsh would have beat his
talk
ass.
like this. It was-
But Joe Walsh was really funny. So we go there, and it starts out, and the Sphere is people. I got to tell you, it's the next level of entertainment. I couldn't believe it. I to this day, I've seen a lot of shows in Vegas. I've seen a ton of shows. I was blown away. So it's a Sphere. It's a
figure.
big, yeah, right.
It's a ball.
Hence
Half
Okay.
a sphere. 'cause
Although
of
my
Earth.
son said, I thought no, there was nothing inside it. I thought it was just a giant ball they put stuff on.
To be fair, we thought he was dumb for that. But as we were driving up to it, the whole outside of it is a video as well.
The diameter. That's what they call that.
Okay.
The circumference.
No seams, like
Nope.
no segments of screen. It's just a perfectly smooth ball, giant off the strip that you can watch video roll over. It's crazy.
And also much bigger than you think it is.
Yeah.
I thought we were like it was a block over.
Yeah.
And we kept driving toward it.
Yeah. And it kept
And it
getting
just like
bigger,
stayed
yeah.
still.
It stayed sitting
like
there
the moon.
We got it. We should have left earlier. We're not gonna make it. Like the moon. It was like the moon.
Oh, a little tip: if you go, buy parking. It's not crazy expensive.
Nope.
But it's not crazy. Because you will stand for an hour waiting for Uber otherwise. So parking, we were right by the
We
entrance.
were going to take an Uber, and then we were told not to. So anyway, so we go inside, guys,
By a
and the
girl
Eagles
at
opens
the
up
casino.
with. Okay, so here's what tripped me out the most. So they open up on the Eagles thing. It was like a rainy night, right? Rainy night. It was just like stormy night, and the entire
Well, there's a blimp.
first of all the blimp comes over, and then the weather comes in, and people, there's no seams. Like she's saying, there's no screen.
Yeah.
It's the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
So you're immersed. You're in the storm. Then that sign's
And
clear.
then wind starts.
Then they start blowing some wind.
Face.
You like
could swear there's real wind.
We
They're
are
like,
no,
outside.
there is.
Oh, I thought you were in.
They actually use effects
So
like wind
and
to immerse you in
they
it.
can
Oh,
direct.
yeah.
They can direct. Let's say they have a section of people from the Philippines. They can actually change it. So the entire that section only is in Tagalog. It's in yes, or Spanish. They can actually change it.
Wow.
So we're watching. So Hotel California starts playing, and the sky's clear. The moon comes out, and it does it in feels like real time. It feels like you're outside.
It was crazy.
Then at one point they
You don't realize during the storm, and then waves start crashing over you, and the wind's blowing, that they have now walked out on stage because it's dark. And then
Are you sure it's them?
all of a sudden the opening guitar of Hotel California, and everybody's like,
and then this Camaro drives in from the distance over this hill coming at you. And it's
I'll show you the video,
I've
because
got
then
chills.
the Camaro actually comes out and explodes at
Goes
us,
through
and then that's when they hit the drop beat of the song. It was
so they did it. There was a couple songs that they're not our favorite Eagle songs.
In
They're
the
good.
City.
In the City, they did this thing to In the City, and I got the song finally. I'm like, In the City. Like, I always thought that was a positive song.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing the lyrics really for the first time, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta see what they did.
And no one's there to catch you when you fall. So it starts out with this tenement. And Joe Walsh just did a lead into it. It was great. Played in the city, this dark tenement, and the thing is, the video is not static. Like it's so detailed. Like people are walking past windows, and there's stuff blowing,
Laundry blowing,
and all of a sudden they start cranking it, and the city starts growing out of the ground. And I got motion sickness for a second. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
And it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going,
So
and there's
it's
this
growing
dome.
around you.
It's going around you, and it's all around the whole dome. So when you look up, it's this horrible tenement, 500 stories high above you, with a tiny, tiny bit of sun at the top.
Dang.
And they got Joe Walsh in the sun looking down playing guitar. They've got him projected in there.
It was crazy.
And Trump wants to buy it.
So then what happens is then the whole building goes, the tenement you're in starts falling over. And then you go out, and it comes out, and it shows around you. It's all beautiful blue wilderness, and you realize, oh, this song's about how the city fucking sucks.
Is there a warning? Do they make you sign hey, you might get motion sickness? You don't sign it,
but they do
no,
warn people.
but that lady actually told us, in the city, if you have motion sickness, just be aware.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a couple of times where you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it was phenomenal.
It was phenomenal.
It was probably the best experience.
They sound exactly the same.
And the sound in it, the sphere is so good.
Yeah, because
it's crystal.
Must be so controlled.
It's so crystal. But there was a couple things where the sphere turned into this giant tower with all this metal in it and stuff. And I was just at every moment I was like, holy shit! It blew me away. And all I thought was, I don't know if Springsteen plays Vegas. I don't know if he would, but Springsteen's songs are so cinematic. I kept thinking, if Springsteen puts together a show for the Sphere, it'll be amazing. But I also thought he should get, because it's Springsteen, right? Yep. So you call Tarantino, you call Scorsese, because the video, there was a couple of videos that we thought were a little cheesy. Mm-hmm. They were still great, but I mean, it was cheesy, like driving around Vegas in a car for Life in the Fast Lane. But imagine, would you go to the Sphere if it's Springsteen, and all the video that we're going to show is directed by Tarantino, Scorsese, and Chris Nolan.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, that's a double bonus, triple okay, now these tickets are totally worth it.
The Grateful Dead show's coming back. People said that was really good. We heard U2 was awesome. It's just for the experience of the Sphere. The experience.
Hey.
Wow.
That was a very Ken Highland.
What an amazing
experience.
Right. Yeah.
So just really quick.
I'm not using that in the ads. You should sell that.
Yeah, patent pending.
Right. You heard it
Trademark
here, kids. So just this past week, we'll do a quick replay before we go. Trump lost the Supreme Court case 5-4 about freezing foreign aid. He paused shipments of military aid to Ukraine. Even
mid-flight.
though Congress approved it, they made the planes turn around.
Yep.
He announced a new White House office. Thought we were getting rid of stuff. Centered on revitalizing commercial and naval shipbuilding.
Pentagon business.
we
Somebody wants a
already have
contract.
that.
Contracts for
told
buddies.
Congress it needs to repeal the landmark Bipartisan Chips Act. Said he would.
Wait, I thought we were bringing jobs back to America. That makes it so we're not dependent on Taiwan anymore. The whole point of the whole point of the CHIPS Act was to make sure we're not dependent on Taiwan for chips. That if China invades Taiwan, that we can actually make our own chips. What the fuck?
Putin wants to make chips now?
Is that tariffs on autos, then said he would temporarily pause them. Stripped security clearance from the law firm Perkins Coie, which represented Hillary Clinton one time.
Again, Nazi. Another on that. By the way, we're going to come up with a Nazi scale. We're doing it for this army.
Yeah, with like a graph.
So you have to understand
matrix.
In the graphs
that a law firm in Washington D.C. with a security clearance, that's going to be their livelihood. That he's now They cannot take any cases that would require a security clearance at all in Washington, D.C.
25th Amendment. We need to get rid of this guy.
He revoked security clearance and barred access to any classified information for Biden-era officials, all the high-ranking. Ordered a student loan forgiveness program to disqualify nonprofit workers who have engaged in what he calls improper activities. He called the Columbia student protester who was just out protesting a pro-terrorist, and that many more arrests like this are to come. He told 180 employees of the CDC who he laid off to get back to work. He listed hundreds of federal properties for sale, including the FBI headquarters, then took the list down from the website. Floated the idea in a press thing of having mail carriers conduct the U.S. Census instead of census workers. So
who's going to conduct it?
U.S. mail carriers, the people that he also wants to privatize.
Yep, same reason.
Gave Republican senators Elon Musk's phone number so they can call him if they need problematic Doge spending cuts reversed.
Because I'm on the golf course.
Exactly.
I will be on the 9th hole. I cannot take every phone call. I've got to cheat on this next hole.
Refused to rule out a recession in a Fox News interview, saying that we'll see a period of transition.
Can I point? Go ahead, keep going. Sorry.
Almost there. Saw the worst day for the NASDAQ since 2022. Because of his tariffs and some other remarks he made about uncomfortable period. He then decided to, in that interview, blame globalist countries and companies for the slide in the stock market.
He also blamed Biden. We inherited a bad economy. You mean when it was 43,000?
When it was the best economy?
Yeah.
That's now tanking?
He also
it's now 41?
Said nobody's ever heard of the South African country Lesotho, which they responded.
Annie did it.
Yeah. They were quite shocked. They said that they'd actually had warm relations with the United States of America for many years. Nobody's ever heard of it.
Can we discuss the map of Africa that we use, or should we keep that
to
ourselves?
You have discussed it
we
before,
have, but
that was a long time.
I want to keep it as like a mystery.
It is the funniest thing in the world, man. Because I always write in the comments. I always write, no, that's Greenland. I'm pretty sure that's Texas. Like I keep saying it, and they're like, there's half the people are like, once you see someone go, they do it all the time. They do it all the time. Just leave it alone. Don't even bring it up. And then the people that are getting angry, why the hell is Africa?
Is it me? That looks like Africa flipped upside down.
It's for two people. It's for me and you.
Look,
she doesn't even find it funny.
I think it's funny.
You and I are the only two.
I think it's funny how mad people get.
All right.
So no, keep it.
Is there more? Because the other thing that he pointed out, which is it's the hypocrisy. They don't connect those two. But he just tweet whatever the fuck it is, social truth or whatever, that boycotting Tesla is illegal.
No, it's protesting at Tesla. You're going to be treated as a domestic terrorist.
Yeah,
if you boycott.
But if you attack the Capitol, right this way.
Oh,
we have a table right for you.
Come on out.
We have a table right for you, so right this way.
That was the tourist.
But if you go protest a private business who is fucking this country up so bad, this is what I don't get. And I want to say it and then we'll wrap it up. Biden or anybody in the Biden administration, Pete Buttigieg had thrown up a Heil Hitler. at a thing. If Pete Buttigieg had just started raping every government agency, if Biden would have closed the Department of if Biden would have crashed the stock market 2,000 points in a week, can you? And now all Biden did was, I was looking at the inflation numbers, and it just keeps dropping month to month, which means 50 years of experience in government showed Joe Biden that he knew what he was doing. Now, listen, if he was mumbling through his tapioca at the end, that's fine. If he was doing that thing that old people do, I don't care. The plan that he set worked, right? Mm-hmm. He stopped COVID. We were all vaccinated. Now you've got a guy that basically is saying everybody should have measles parties so you all get measles. By the way, as of today, measles is now in 15 states. We have another pandemic, fuckers.
Seriously.
Yeah. And so what I don't understand, and then on the way in, I hear a guy, they interviewed a Trump supporter, and he goes, well, I guess in the long term, this is going to be better for all of us, which is exactly what Trump says. That's a cult.
That's the new thing Fox is saying, that
they have to.
They're saying, they're basically admitting Trump's economic policies are going to harm Americans, but they're trying to convince people that the pain will be worth it. That's the new thing.
Now, can you imagine the Biden administration going, hey, guys, the pain's going to be worth it? So he's going to stop manufacturing of chips. The CHIPS Act is going to go. I got to tell you.
They also asked a grant for a study into safer menstruation products for women.
They hate women, man.
They said it benefited transgender men.
Weak ass, tiny men. Trump is the weakest ass, tiny man. What you do is, if you're smart, which he's not, you take the last administration's good policies like the CHIPS Act, and you go, hey, let's add another bill on top of it and call it this, so I get credit for it.
And sign it, yes.
And you sign it, you fucking morons.
They shut down efforts to protect election security at CISA as well.
Oh, God. We are so fucked. Okay, so all this is what this is going to turn into, there's going to be, if you cut back the FBI, you cut back the CIA, you actually take down any kind of cyber checking Russia out, someone's going to attack us. And we're going to, and we're not going to know what it's coming.
And how is this a temporary? All the people that lost their jobs, they lost their jobs. How is this just a little disturbance that's everything's going to be better?
But also, he's getting rid of social service and welfare programs that, like food banks,
keep people alive.
So get rid of the jobs and then get rid of any safety net that people with some sort of compassion in past years implemented.
Do you think the homeless problem is bad now?
Oh Lordy, yeah, I've already thought about that.
Imagine what it's going to be in 2 years.
Yep.
Holy shit. Well, guys, again, as I said, have a nice weekend. I had the Titus podcast have always covered the ups and downs, and sorry I went it down right now. Listen, do me a favor. I will be performing at Keller's Magic Comedy Club. Magic Comedy Club. This weekend, I'll be there Friday and Saturday, and then I will be at the Cleveland Hilarities for 2 shows on Sunday. We have already sold out the second show. Do me a favor, get tickets to that first show. My new show, Doomed to Repeat, is kicking ass. I love it. Next week, I'm going to be at Helium in Philadelphia, and then after that, I'll be in Eugene, Oregon. Do me a favor, again, because we don't ask for a Patreon. We don't make you pay for this. Do me a favor. Go to ChristopherTitus.com and get my new special, Carrying Monsters. It is an hour and 40 minutes of badass comedy. Probably my best special ever. Get it. Download it. You'll help us out on the podcast and keep us doing it. I've got to go do more research on what a nightmare this is. I got to figure out how do we get rid of this. The only way to get rid of it is the 25th Amendment. And currently the Republicans are such pussies.
They're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it.
And they're reveling. They're just loving some of it.
We're going to be in a war, man.
Keith Self today called the trans representative Sarah McBride, introduced her as Mr. McBride. So she said back like instantly, "Thank you, Madam Chair." And then they shut down the whole hearing. Well, because he said, this administration believes that there are two sexes, male and female.
So what happened was that I love the way she handled it, and they should have left it alone, but someone else jumped in to defend her.
He tried to, yeah.
And it's like, just leave it.
Inappropriate.
Do me a favor. It is inappropriate, but let her just make these guys look like assholes. Just let her make them look like assholes, and we'll all laugh at it because now it's a big thing and they shut the thing down and it's like, just let it go. Okay, Madam Chair, just keep doing that. Because that'll make them nuts. But you create turmoil and you create conflict. They love that shit. But just be funny. Just out funny them, which is so easy. It'll be fine. And now we're going to go to 2 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years ago. And now 4 years ago with the Highlander.
FEMA will support the Biden administration's effort over the next several months to receive shelter and transfer minor children who arrive at the United States southern border without a parent or other adult. Homeland Security.
Oh, he's actually helping people.
He's actually helping people.
People with nothing.
Yeah.
So the Biden administration went out of the way to help people who had nothing so they could actually survive and have a life and get their human rights. Whereas the billionaires that are currently running shit want to make sure that these people starve and or die. Yep. Awesome. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please come to the shows. This new show, Doomed to Repeat, is getting good, and I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for watching. We will keep you as informed, at least better than MSNBC. Jesus, I don't understand why our news sucks so bad, unless because it's owned by corporate entities. But if we ever get back to this, we get rid of this idiot, and we get back to some people that actually give a shit about America. I think what we should do is we need to come up with like the BBC. The BBC doesn't play around. They just give you the news because they are paid for by the government. And the government has no say in what they report. When I was in Australia years ago, filming that thing for Joel Silver, I remember it was the Iraq War was going on. I remember watching the BBC like, wait, we're not getting this news at home. Yep. This is crazy. We're not getting this.
You know what's interesting?
So guys, what you're seeing on the news on any channel ain't real. Look around. Go look around. Find more. Look. Good.
This is just a fun fact. Fun facts. Fun facts.
It's Highlander.
Fun facts. We wrecked that song. You can go into Minecraft, and there's a library where all the oppressed news from around the world and in other countries, they put their news there because the security, they can't shut it down because of how Minecraft servers are. So there's a built library, a Minecraft library, where you can go in and get.
This sounds like a new segment,
right?
Highlander, you have it. Your kid plays it, right?
Yeah, he plays it. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have a new segment, and now news that you won't hear.
Minecraft news, whatever it is.
Okay, that's your new segment.
There you go.
All right, next week, Minecraft news, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. For myself, the lovely Bombshell, right, and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There could be one.